This kind of glue is the one I use all the time for fixing my work boots, steel toe. It works very good for leather, rubber, plastic, wood, all that stuff. It's not for metal, works very good on plastic. It says on the container you can use it for putting carpet down onto floors. It works for wood. It's supposed to dry in 20 minutes. It doesn't really dry in 20 minutes. It's still tacky. It takes a full 24 hours to completely dry. It works good. It says warnings, like in the pictures. Don't have it near pilot lights. It says no smoking. There has to be in a well-ventilated room. It says very flammable on the top. This can here cost about $5.40 at Walmart. $5 you get this. It's a quart. Or for $4 you can get a container. It has a little brush. It's like a nail polish container. It's gonna be 1/5 of this, but for $1 you can get 5 times more. That's a much better deal. But with that you have to buy a paintbrush, and this glue, you can't get it off the paintbrush, so I bought a cheap 20-cent paintbrush that I can just throw out afterwards. And also, this place, you have to show an ID to get it because people like to sniff glue. I've gone to Walmart on 4 different occasions and bought this. This is my second can. The other ones were the tiny containers because I didn't know they had this further down the aisle. Out of those 4 times I've bought it, twice they gave me a problem buying it and I had to show an ID. It just depends on who is selling it to you. The stuff works really good on shoes. It doesn't say shoes on the container, but it does. It looks kind of messy because I just slopped it on. It works really good on the leather part here. This is my newer pair of work boots. I had an older one. The front started to fall off after about a year of use. I used this glue underneath there, put it back on, and let it dry for about like a week. And then it lasted another 6 months. It outlasted the rest of the shoe. Worked very good for gluing plastic together. If you break something, this works good for putting it together. It just stinks really bad, like I'm in the garage right now. Just gonna paint it where the shoe meets the bottom. These are work boots, so I'm not really gonna be all neat about it because it really doesn't matter. As soon as I go walk around in mud, you won't even be able to see it. See, it has that little crack here. I'm just gonna put some in there. If you put it on the bottom of the shoe, it will crack off. And also on the container it says this can put up with a great deal of heat, so you can paint things that are going to be hot with this. And I think it's much better, the one in the can, because you can use a paintbrush. The other one, when it gets like half full, the paintbrush, it's kind of hard to get it out of there. And that one, once you use it once, you can't even get the cover off the second time because it just glues the cover shut. But right now, I can barely smell this. But the first time I did it, it was in the house because it was raining outside. And I didn't want the humidity near it, so I did it inside. Wasn't too bad. As soon as the 20 minutes was up, the smell was gone. Just needed 24 hours to cure. But after 24 hours, if you put your nose right up to the shoe, you can still smell it. That's why I wait a week. The stitches are starting to fall out here, so I'm just going to put a little bit going up. Also, the one that comes in the can, the glue seems a little bit thicker where it's not as runny, and I like that. Because before I'd have to do one half of the shoe, flip it over, and do the other half. It's good. This back part was starting to fall off. This is my second coat, and the can has barely gone down. Very good for $5. This stuff is waterproof. It works much better than regular wood glue. I've built some birdhouses out in the yard with this. Just for securing the walls, the bottom piece, I'll screw it to the tree, because that has a lot of tension. It works good along with the nails to seal the birdhouses. I did that last year. It's almost winter again, so it lasted a year. No problems yet. This stuff says it can put up with heat, but in the birdhouses that are sitting in the sun all day, it does start to crack and dry up like rubber. And I noticed on shoes, the thicker you put it on and the more coats you put on, the better it applies. Like on the bottom of my shoe, here it's really thick so it stays on, but here if I just put it on like a teeny bit, it's going to flake off later on. Just going to flake off. Like peeling skin. Around the second shoe. Looks like I'm done here. And this stuff, it's very hard to get off of floors. That's why I'm putting it on cardboard. Doesn't look like I missed anything. And this stuff, it looks very dark right now compared to the rest of the boot. It's not. It does dry glossy. But then when I'm done, when this is dry, I have boot polish. I'm just going to take a rag and polish the boot, and they'll pretty much look like new. I'll bring the next one over. Make sure I did okay. I'll add a little more. Forgot one part. Gonna do my second coat here. Going up, because that's an area of stress. Okay, that's done for this. And also, it says on the container as a warning, this paintbrush, you cannot put it in paint thinner, because later on, if you put it back in here, it says paint thinner will ruin the glue if that gets put back in there. It says, and here it has all the precautions. Keep away from heat, electrical sparks, and flame. Shut off pilot lights. Do not smoke. Prevent buildup of vapors. Open windows and doors. Shut off stoves, heaters, and appliances. Before use, turn off main gas valve if you heat with gas. Well, I did that inside. Upstairs, there's no pilot lights there. And I had the windows open.